listening to the sounds of DJ EFN representing Crazy Hood Production.
I'm coming through, I'm coming down, I'm swerving lane to lane. I'm smoking good, I'm gripping wood like it ain't no thing. These hoes is chasing me, I'm chasing dollars like I should. Round and round we go, every day that's how we do it.
Started spinning officially somewhere around 93 when I got my first turntables. But before that, I like to talk about, I used to make pause tapes with 2 tape decks. I love making those. You could like pitch stuff and pause and like kind of like do little like makeshift mixes. And I'll just give that around the neighborhood. But then when I finally got my turntables, I started to make mixtapes. And I saw that void in my area of Miami. And I said, you know, this is something that I could probably contribute to the scene at the very least on a local level. And so I took on the mantle of being like the mixtape guy in Miami, and that's how I started to get the name out, is the mixtapes and like house parties and stuff like that. And I was DJing in the clubs in South Beach and Miami. But really what made my mark for me was mixtapes.
Like what did he do to deserve all that? Funeral service, moms in the church all black. 9 out of 10.
Crazy Hood was basically me and my friends in high school, just huge hip hop fans. You know, we're just like, we're living the culture as fans, you know. And as school's winding down for me, I'm a senior, I'm like, what am I gonna do in life? And I didn't want to go to college. I didn't see myself in that realm, and there was no career that was a calling for me. And I was like, man, I really loved music, but I didn't have any skill. So I just said, okay, well, I'm gonna do something, I just don't know what, but it all starts with a brand. So one day, just eating shit in class, I'm like, Crazy Hood Productions, and to not drag it out, crazy was the way I felt. You know, hood was because we were hoods. We wore hoodies. So people think we mean neighborhood. We don't mean neighborhood. The attire back, you know, in the early '90s was a hood. So we called ourselves Hood. So it's Crazy Hood, and then I wanted to make it sound professional, Productions. So I said, this is the company. I told my boys. Most of them were like, that sounds insane. You know, like, we don't have any connects. We don't have no connections to nobody. Miami's on the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to hip hop as an industry and a scene. So I was just like, well, whatever. You know, I'm just gonna go for it. And it was just a concept. So I just started doing parties. That was like the first thing I did. I just got other DJs to spin and just bringing the music to the fans of the scene out there in Miami, because there wasn't clubs playing it. And then I got my turntables, and then I did the mixtapes, and then I started managing artists, and then we started making demos, and it just like grow and grow, like I was explaining before. I just started expanding.
What it good be, homie? What it should be? It's your boy N.O.R.E.
What up, it's DJ EFN.
And this Drink Champs motherfucking podcast. Make some noise!
The pessimist.
Well, to bring it back to your previous question, it was him coming to meet me as a DJ, and also our store, Crazy Goods. You know, in those days when someone had like a promo run and they were gonna perform, they had to like go and do in-stores and go to different places and meet and greets and stuff. And he was brought to my store to come to the store and also to meet me as a DJ and do stuff for my mixtape. So again, this is how me as a DJ today is why we have Drink Champs. And so we met then, and then this was with the CNN, when he was promoting CNN, because Capone was locked up. And then from that meeting, we became such good friends that I ended up booking him for his first official show as N.O.R.E. in Miami. And then just stayed in contact, and he ended up moving to Miami, was working out of our studio. In our studio, it was just debauchery every day, you know, just drinking and people getting high, smoking, and music and gambling, all kinds of stuff. That we started a term there amongst ourselves, Drink Champs, like whether, you know, if you couldn't handle yourself, you weren't a drink champ. It was just something that we said. He wrote a song actually about it at one point that Alchemist produced. And then we were doing a Sirius XM show. First on XM before the merger, then after Sirius XM. We just wanted to do something that we thought would be fun and just cool to do. And like, we wanted to basically just talk to people that we thought were worth talking to, and bring up old stories and just whatever, just talk with your peers and over some drinks. That's really what it was. When we started, I had asked the people that were in the world of podcasting, like, what is a successful podcast, or just like semi-successful, like, you know, to make some kind of money. And they were like, well, if you get like 60,000 listens in like a couple weeks, you know, you could get some couple G's or something. I was like, all right, cool. That's what we're shooting for. Out the gate, first episode, first week with Fat Joe was like 300, 400K, and then it just kept climbing from there.
My name is DJ EFN. I'm executive producer of Crazy Hood Film Academy, and I have been waiting for this moment for over a decade. I knew that somehow, in some way, I would make my way to my parents' homeland. I decided not only was I going to Cuba, but we would film our entire experience while we were there.
DJ EFN.
Definitely a passion project that we've been working on since 2012. And, you know, rest in peace to Anthony Bourdain, but it's definitely like something that I always say it's like an Anthony Bourdain style, where he uses food as a conduit to conversation in different countries. We're using hip hop. And I like to say that hip hop is the #1 export, cultural #1 export of the US outside. And I think that we can learn from how it impacts other countries and vice versa. And basically we're going to different countries, and it's not like a documentary about their hip hop scene, like history or anything like that, because that's not fair to any country. We couldn't possibly do that, but it's a travel show. We go, it's my crew, you know, my guys in Crazy Hood have been together since high school, so you see us with white beards and gray beards, but we act like we're 17 because we've been around each other that long. So we're going out there acting a fool in these countries, but then we're linking with like our counterparts, like, you know, DJs and MCs, graffiti artists, and we're learning about the country through the hip hop culture out there.
The whole system corrupt now. Illegal biz control the district. Original.
Going into it, I think I already understood that hip hop was such a global phenomenon. What's surprising me, how little we're starting to influence these countries. And that's what a message that I'm trying to bring back. I don't think I'm doing a good job of it yet, but I want us over here as an industry or as a culture to understand that we're starting to do things over here that are affecting us negatively, and we're losing our impact and our influence around the world. And some people might not care on a local level, but in the grand scheme of things, like, that's money we're losing. Because if they don't care about us anymore, they're not going to book us over there, they're not going to wear our merch, they're not going to buy our stuff, you know, like, so we should care, and we should listen to why and maybe whatever they're saying, we need to take a reflection on what's going on in the culture here. And a lot of them over there are saying, you guys are no longer doing art. You guys are doing for-profit business, and you've completely eliminated the part of doing it, you know, for an art reason, for artful reasons. So I've never been surprised by any one particular scene. I've just been surprised that consistently that message has been like, yeah, you guys, you know, you're no longer really our influence anymore. We're looking to neighboring countries.
Hood resident, stuck in my element.
As DJs are artists, and at least from where I come from, and one of the reasons why I don't like to DJ anymore that much in clubs is people came and they trusted the DJ. The same thing with my mixtapes. You know, I was making mixtapes when they were cassettes. You couldn't fast forward the track. So people were like kind of investing in, the DJ, not necessarily just the tracks. They're like, I don't know these tracks, but this DJ, I trust him, so I'm gonna listen to this tape all the way through. I'm gonna go to the club, and you might play a brand new track that they never heard, but they're like, this DJ, he's the man, so I'm gonna listen to it, I'm gonna jam out to it. That can't happen anymore. A DJ just can't play a new record in the club. That's not gonna fly. So what happens now is people go to the clubs and they're not used to where DJs were that tastemaker for them. And now they're just like, yo, dude, you got to play the record that I want. You know, like the playlist is on my phone right now. Should be playing right now. It's basically the attitude that people have. And we're not jukeboxes, man. We're artists, and we're the reason why these artists have careers is because we were the ones out here and we were A&Ring their projects, even when we weren't A&Ring their projects, because DJs were the ones picking singles. You know, sometimes a label was gonna go with one single, but then the DJs decided, nah, this is the record. So.
Break it down, break it down, break it down.